got it.
Oh shit.
All right, we got it. All righty. Peaceful greetings to you all. I am Brother Shining Leam Ale. You know all is well, and my bros sometimes. What'd you be calling sometimes also, bro?
Braveheart.
What? And I am here. I'm here with a couple of the bros. Let's see. I got right here with me that you see. That's the Living Master, and he is.
Oh, you're hilarious, man. Stop it. Okay. Namaste. Islam. I am Brother Hassan Ghazi Obey here in Morocco at Northwest of the Maxim. How are you? I yield.
And in the background, we also got
too, right?
You know what I'm saying? We got Brother Sauce.
Yeah, Brother Sauce.
Islam, can you hear me, Morris?
Yes, we know you're traveling, bro.
Islam, I am throughout tomorrow, Bay. How art thou?
Sauce. And we got another one of our bros kicking it in the green room too. Right? You want to introduce yourself, brother?
Islam, everyone. I'm Brother Chi Bay. Just chilling in the green room. Just chilling in the green room.
No more. Shop is free.
Everybody's got like an ad lib for when they introduced themselves, Brother Chi. And the first thing that came to my mind was, "Ooh yeah," you know what I'm saying? Because that's classic. That's a classic R&B ad lib, bro. Like, come on.
Can you woo?
You're hilarious. Okay. That's okay. We'll do that. I'll do that. I promise you. If you're ever live with us, I will every time. I promise you. Every time. Right?
That's hilarious.
So I get go ahead, man.
Islam, we'd like to thank you all joining us for another Intuition Monday. Brother Jag, are you in the back or are you with us? So I know
I'm with y'all. I'm with y'all. I'm with y'all to the best of my ability. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah,
Indeed.
Islam.
Well, all right, we'll
clear?
have or clear.
Everything's clear? Islam.
Yeah, so if that's the
Indeed,
case, I can cue. Well, Jag, since you're traveling, it'll probably be best for you to not have your camera on, so that you're not using that energy, so you can do the speaker. I'll just be sitting here while you do the testimony, bro. Or vice versa, either one, it doesn't matter. So you just let me know if you want me to do it or you do it.
Islam.
All right.
Let's see. Then since we all three, it starts with Gemini air. So Brother Hassan can do air. Trying to figure out so me and Jag, we ain't got
we can do 4 houses apiece.
Yep. So I guess Hassan, bro, you can do mutables, Jag, cardinal, and I'll do the fix.
Okay. Right. You said I'm doing mutables, right?
Indeed.
All right, sweet.
So Hassan, bro, man, I'm gonna just yield. I'm gonna pull up the chart. I yield the floor to you, broski.
And I'll do the editing on the fly in the background while you guys are doing your testimonies, so I can make sure I'm doing everything there as well. All righty. So since I'm doing timeout. You said I have mutable signs, right? Oh, mutable zones. That's what you're saying, Brother Sean? I have mutable zones.
Indeed.
All righty. Okay. Perfecto. Mutable zones. Correct. Okay. Absolutely. So, guys, this is the Saturn Cazimi. What the freaking fruit fracker is Cazimi, right? So, Brother Sean, can you bring that up real quick? I'll tell you guys, though, what a Cazimi is. Cazimi is when a planet, and particularly it's really Mercury for the most part. However, what we do in expanding our mindsets when looking at the concept pertaining to Cazimi is when a planet is 0 degrees 0 minutes to 0 degrees 17 minutes in conjunction with the sun. right? However, I was going to say, bro, you can bring up the Encyclopedia of Astrology by
Oh, got you.
right?
Let's see.
In the heart of the sun, right? Habibi.
Habibi.
Kazim,
That's
Habibi, right?
you
Where
close to
Habibi
my heart,
is
so
the
you should be
sweetheart.
my Habibi.
What'd you say?
Habibi.
What was that one time I said you should be
Nice
my
name.
Habibi because you're close to my heart.
And I know, right? That's what you can say to your consort, right? She's my Habibi. Like a lot of people even thought that Habib was like a slight to someone who is of Arab, quote unquote Arabic descent. What did you say, brother Chick?
No, I just like that name. I remember hearing it when I was younger. And you're right. That's exactly where I probably heard it from. But I always liked how it sounded. Habibi. But I think I heard somebody's name as that before when I was young, and I liked it.
Indeed. Well, when people say things like Habib Allah, they're saying the sweetheart of Allah.
Habib Allah.
So yeah, you know how like different comedy shows they would have like a so-called Arabic mechanic, and it would be Habib, and people would try to like be like making fun. Oh yeah, man, you must be Arabian, you Habib ass motherfucker. But
right. It's like an insult.
Compliment.
Yeah. They try to insult you. It's the ignorance of etymology.
Yeah, basically, you know what I mean? Seriously, because Habibi is the same thing as like if Cazimi is in the heart of the sun, Habibi is basically the sweetheart of Allah. So it's kind of similar, but not exactly. However, Cazimi, right?
That's dope.
Who wants to read? Can you zoom in on that
dope.
Cazimi, bro? And bring it center. You are amazing, bro. So would someone like to read Cazimi?
I'll take it away. Cazimi, an Arabian astronomical term applied to the center of the solar disk. It is employed to describe a planet located within an arc of 17 minutes of the sun's longitude, or by some authorities within half a degree of the sun's center. It is then said to be, quote, in the heart of the sun, end quote. Older authorities considered that this position fortified the planet as much as combustion debilitates it. In his dictionary, James Wilson scoffed at this quote unquote silly distinction, saying that a planet so placed, quote, is undoubtedly in the worst state of combustion, end quote. Most modern authorities are inclined to agree with him, although the favorable and unfavorable qualities and parts vary according to the planet involved. Vede combust.
Right. So if you wanted to look at what combust is, so a planet being combust, right, would be outside of the 17 degrees partile to the sun celestial longitude. So let's say the sun at 27 degrees, 44 minutes Aquarius, right? 17 degrees from that, right? 17 degrees from that. And really the sun was actually leading up. So once the sun, because sun moves faster as far as in our perspective from here, from Earth, even though it's not the actual sun that's moving, we're actually projecting the Earth's movement based on where we're seeing the sun. However, since we're saying that the sun's movement, quote unquote, hypothetically speaking, 17 degrees prior to 44 would have been 27. So 27 degrees, 27 minutes is when the sun entered Cazimi state, so to speak, pertaining to Saturn, right? And then 17 degrees later would be, if I'm not mistaken, it would be 57. If I'm not mistaken, 27 degrees, 57 minutes. Alrighty, is where the sun would be still in Cazimi. Once it gets to 27 degrees, 18, hold on, let me make sure I'm calculating that properly. 44. It would actually be, the sun would have to be at 28 degrees 1 minute. I stand corrected. 28 degrees 1 minute in Aquarius, which is very interesting because 28 degrees is the the ending part of the span of the astrological area in Aquarius. So the astrological area in Aquarius is 22 degrees Aquarius to 28 degrees Aquarius. All righty. So with that being said, right, what we're actually now looking at is interpreting this for you guys on a global perspective, right? So that's kind of like just really just how I'm even looking at this and really basing things on Cazimi. Okay, I yield for combust though. Who would like to read combust? Don't all volunteer at once. You can read again, Brother Sean, if you like. For
I got it. Combust, said of a planet when in extreme closeness to the sun. The limits variously placed at from 3 degrees to 8 degrees 30 minutes. The characteristic effect to which the term applies is probably confined within an arc of 3 degrees and is more pronounced when the planet rises after the sun. Older authorities, including Milton, have described it as weakening, except in the case of Mars, which was said to be intensified. The probabilities are that the effect of the combust condition is to combine the planet's influence more closely with that of the sun until, hey, scroll down. All right, let me minimize that until, there we go, is no longer, hold on, get that up. Till is no longer a physical emotion capable of independent control, but an integral part of that consciousness of destiny that the sun imparts. Thus, Mercury combust imparts to the mind a capacity for concentration upon what it deems its own destiny, but robs it of its receptivity to distracting or diverting influences. Hence, it is no bar to the achievement of its own objectives insofar as the ability to achieve them is within its own powers, but it robs the native of the cooperation of those whom he alienates by his particular species of obtuse deafness to any or all argument that runs counter to his own concepts. Edison and Kant both illustrate this interpretation. Venus combust may take away the strength to achieve, but when in a particularly close conjunction with the sun, it produces the condition sometimes termed nymphomania, described by Bolitho concerning Lola Montez. Mars combust is always the man who fights for what he wants, and so with each planet according to its intrinsic nature. The distinction is an important one, and that a person with an entirely unaspected Mercury is one who usually develops a complex by way of an escape mechanism, while one whose Mercury is within 5 to 10 degrees of the sun is seldom afflicted with any manner of mental derangement. Wilson says, quote, there seems manifest a difference in genius and propensities of natives according to the distance of their Mercury from the sun, and that those whose Mercury is combust have little wit or solid judgment, though they will persevere in business and frequently with good success.
Correct.
Also that a good aspect to the moon, if angular and increasing in light, will in great measure remedy this defect, making one quote unquote judicious and penetrating. All right, let's see. It should not be confused with the phrase quote unquote under the sun beams, which applies to, let us say, the degree of non-combustion, and is perhaps embodied in the doctrine that a planet within the sun's aura, which extends to 17 degrees on either side, is within orbs of a conjunction therewith. In other words, while the orbs of the planets with regards to aspects are variously from 3 degrees to 10 degrees, according to the nature of the aspect, the solar orb by conjunction or opposition can be as much as 17 degrees.
Which is also called the sphere of influence. So let's look at this. Let's recap. All right. So specifically, to be Cazimi is, within 0 degrees to 17 degrees within the sun's, so we already know this is happening. You can go back to the screen share of the chart, bro. This is actually happening. Pardon me. This is, I thought my camera was on. I thought it was wide open, but there it is. No, did it stop? Did it really cut the camera off? Okay, no, there I am. There I go. So 0 degrees to 17 degrees within the exact partile, right? The partile celestial longitude, right? So we know that this is happening at 27 degrees, 44 minutes where Saturn Cazimi is happening. So 17 degrees on each side of 27 degrees, 44 minutes is 27 degrees, 27 minutes, and 28 degrees, 1 minute. So as long as since the sun is perceived to move faster, even though it's the Earth that's moving. So technically, what we would actually be looking at is technically kind of like a Cazimi for Earth, sort of. But it would be kind of anti-Cazimi, I guess, if you wanted to say that. However, let's just be clear that it's also kind of like a freaking inferior conjunction, to be completely honest, but the sun is in between Saturn and Earth in this perspective. For those of you that are working on your astronomy and astrology and comprehend that, and to our colleagues, our international colleagues, they'll be able to, criticize intelligently and professionally that which we're speaking on. All right. So with that being said, that's a Cazimi, 0 degrees to 17 degrees. Combustion is like 0 degrees, 0 minutes to 0 degrees, 17 minutes. Let me correct myself. I was loud and wrong in that last statement. Cazimi is 0 degrees, 0 minutes to 0 degrees, 17 minutes. Now, 0 degrees, 17 minutes to about 8 degrees would be combustion. 8 degrees to about 17 degrees would be under the sun's beams. You see the levels to this shit? No meat mill. All right. So that's how this goes. So Cazimi is 0 degrees, 0 minutes to 0 degrees, 17 minutes, pertaining to the sun's celestial longitude, another planet being in conjunction with the sun's celestial longitude, right? Then the combust is 0 degrees, 17 minutes to 8 degrees within the conjunction pertaining to the sun's celestial longitude. 8 degrees and 17 degrees is under the sun's beams. So once you're past 17 degrees, it's like you're no longer being affected by being under the beams, so to speak, being under the sun. Now, sphere of influence, we're talking about 2 types of orb. When we're talking aspects, it's usually anywhere from like 0 to 10 degrees for an aspect in conjunction. But when you're talking about sphere of influence of the planet, as far as its orb, as you can see for the celestial body, the luminary, the sun, it's 17 degrees on each side. And every planet has a sphere of influence. They have a range, like even though they may have a certain, orb, it means give or take an amount of degrees to being exact. That's what an orb is, ORB. So like if a planet is at 0 degrees Aries and the moon is at 27 degrees Virgo, then we know we're coming up on a full moon with an applying orb of 3 degrees, because applying means approaching in astrology, right? Even though we know jurisprudently speaking, applying is a prayer, a petition. Sir, may I please have some more? That's what applying is in jurisprudence. However, in astrology, applying is approaching. right? So if the sun's at 0 degrees Aries and the moon is at 27 degrees Virgo, we know in 6 more hours we'll have what is known as a solar lunar reflection termed a full moon. However, by being at 27 degrees and not quite at 0, or wherever the conjunction is going to happen within 0 to 1 degrees of Aries and 0 to 1 degrees Libra, was actually occurring there. And we're giving you guys some critical astrology here before we get to these testimonies, right? And I'm doing this on purpose so that we can lay the foundation, right? That's an applying orb. So that's by aspect, orb by aspect. However, orb by influence, the sphere of influence is a little different. So for the sun, it's like 17 degrees. I think for the moon, it's like 12 on each side or something. I think for like Jupiter, it's like 7.5. And it's in the book that we were just reading. All right. Like I said, we just making reference to the Encyclopedia of Astrology by Nicholas Moor. It's one of the many resources that we utilize from within our library at Prophet Noble Drew University. All right. And you guys already know you can join Prophet Noble Drew University. You go to 7 Hill Star Instagram or our Astrology Streets Instagram. Go and check the profile, the link tree in the profile. And when you click the link tree, the first link there for Prophet Noble Drew is there for Prophet Noble Drew University, and you can join just by at the click of a button or the click of the link, and begin your own studies. However, we do look forward, of course, to you actually studying along with us. So, with that being said, let's just get to it now. Now that we comprehended there's a difference between Cazimi, combust, and under the beams, as well as orb by aspect and then orb by sphere of influence. Are we all clear, bros?
Islam.
All right, Islam. So with that being said, I was also supposed to have been sharing here, but I'm gonna do all my sharing after I do this first testimony because I know I won't go again until it is time for me to do the Sagittarius zone. Right. Oh no, pardon me, the Pisces zone. All right. So let me copy that. Right, and share this on out to Facebook just very briefly. So as we can see what's happening here in the Gemini zone, guys, and I got it in the first house here, 27 degrees. And it's funny because technically this is for the Gemini zone, this is happening during sunrise. Looky, Astro Cookie. Saturn's Cazimi during sunrise. That's very special, guys. And it's only literally 28 minutes away, right? And we know that the ascendant moves 1 degree every 4 minutes. 28 is literally 2 minutes off of half of a degree, which is 30 minutes, 30 arc minutes. So that means this is about 2 minutes, a 2 minutes difference, right? So sunrise technically for near the Gemini zone for Palmerston Island, right? It's happening 0600 hours, 48 minutes, and 24 seconds. All right. So with that being said, guys, what you can clearly see here near the Gemini zone, what we can really do is when looking at 22 degrees to 28 degrees, that's the astrological area. This happening in the first house with this Saturn Cazimi, the essentials that need to be, there's going to be some creative essentials for yourself. So you can be very self-creative, bringing those essentials to the forefront. However, make sure that you don't be too shock value-y with it. However, you can be able to pour out some knowledge or have some information poured out to you via some form of electronic, or you can actually allow yourself at this moment to either enjoy the night before some group activity that you had, you probably was, you wasn't sure about, you opened yourself up to it. And now you're realizing, hey, I am not as much of an introvert as I thought I was. So now I can actually take some essential things, really allow my standing amongst my peers to actually shine a little more, because now what I can actually do now is allow myself to have being share themselves with me and I share myself with others, because now what's being realized is the self-sharing is really based on the essential creativities that one sees in themselves. And this is heavy around astrology, the astrological area. Again, for Aquarius, is 22 to 28 degrees. For Leo, it's 25 to 29 degrees. All righty. So, and Leo's on the 7th house cusp. So Saturn's ruling the ascendant while the sun is ruling the descendant, guys. Are we seeing this? All righty. And who's mastering the chart, bro? Can I see the terms real quick, just to be clear, real quick? Who's mastering the chart? I just want to be clear on the terms. All right, so it looks like Mars and, wow, Saturn is in Saturn terms. So Saturn's on its own terms, dominant in here. And guys, what I'm actually recognizing is that collectively speaking, the people who actually see that some teacher of some sort, or someone who is actually seemingly like a presiding officer, someone who actually possesses quote unquote leadership skills, may not necessarily be the leader of something. However, anywhere someone is actually taking the initiative to make sure that the whole is cared for, this is going to be that portion where the activity in the community is going to be so easy. It's going to be, whoever that is going to get a major amount of support, collectively speaking. All righty, to the point where it's going to be highly active. And it's funny too, whereas Mars is in the 4th house in Gemini, and the 4th house cusp is on Mars's terms also. That is freaking amazing. So the 4th house and the 7th house are on Mars's terms. So Mars is being very active in the community and making sure what's being communicated is relatable, so that the sudden changes necessary collectively can actually happen based on someone standing who may have seemed to be a late bloomer, right? And now the children, or the inner child, or the hearts of the people have now turned to this particular energy that's within the beings that are taking the initiative, appearing to be in leadership of some sort. However, that's only because they have turned their hearts to the people. And with that, I yield the floor. Islam.
Right, Brother Jay, you want to go next? I know I said for you the Cardinal, but you know, I ain't gonna say, but I'm pretty sure you can catch telepathy if you want to go next, Brother Jay.
Can you take it for me, bro? Please.
Got you.
Thank you.
Got you. All right, so we were at Horary, right? We ain't talking about the conveyance to Horary, right? Horary Banashu.
Okay, go ahead. I just figured I'd do the ad lib, right? Okay, go ahead.
Oh, skirt, right? So this is occurring on the holy day. Look at that. All right, so we got Sol and Saturn and the 2nd. This is gonna be very interesting for this area, because we are in the Taurus zone, right? So we could look at Venus, right? Venus is in the 2nd too, which is some accidental dealing, because Taurus deals with the 2nd house. She rules over Taurus, and she's exhausted in Pisces. So this is a beautiful time. I'm saying that the collective is going to feel a lot of restrictions, and this will be, I will say, more internal than external. But once you go within, you know, you kind of process and realize, you got, look, Aquarius is still on the rise, but it's in Mercury terms, right? So Mercury is in Aquarius in Venus terms, which you look. So we'll be able to start to realize that how our own actions are when we're more uplift and upbeating, you know, and not kind of like naggy boo or always down in the dumps complaining. And once you see how you put and redirect your energy, how not only it benefits for yourself, but benefits for others. And if we want to even look at Uranus, you know, we're valuing ourselves in the home, but we're looking to get more creative in a sense of, like I said, making things work for us, finding what works best for us. And this is still the astrological area. So you're cheating yourself if you're not getting any mirrors or any kind of like astrology sessions or really any of that. And I think finally I will say, with a lot of more technologies coming out too, like I said, technologies relating, Venus is in a separating conjunction with Neptune. So it's It's gonna be a really beautiful time if you actually took the time to kind of just realize where you went wrong, what structures need to be done, and just really viewing yourself in the mirror, right? This is a hashtag. I'm looking at the man in the mirror.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, playing that, and if you won't, instead of looking within, if you're just trying to skirt, right? Horary, if you're trying to skirt from the truth of yourself, you're probably going to crash and realize, dang, I can't get away from it. This is all astrally speaking, right? Not like physically, psychically, just being able to realize the truth. Saturn's discipline, hard work, Sun's conscious ego, life purpose. So this is like ending up the cycles. And if you learned the lesson, then you won't have to repeat those cycles. And if you didn't, hey man, what's that one Nelly song? Batter up, right? So you're about to learn things all over again. And with that, I will yield.
Just to add lib, when you was like, you can't keep running. I thought of
running away.
Like, yo, there's no way out. Anyway,
there's no way.
We yield to the brother with the sauce. Brother Terran.
Brother so sauce you own.
Sauce. Jag, you there with the sauce, bro? All right.
Right. I guess we're going like 1-2.
All righty. I guess
we switching it up today. We going the bro's going back to back.
Yeah, there's no problem with us. Actually, knock out the next. You can knock out the next two if you want to do those three, and then I'll do
either or. We can go house for house, or we can.
Yeah, either one. I mean, if you want me to do this one, I can, and I'll be brief because I wanted to do the edits. However, I can do it while.
Oh, I mean, I can do the next two.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Let's knock it out, man. You already know the Jara Australia, right? So the Jara Australia, right? Let's look at this Cazimi, this Saturn Cazimi. Okay, this is the third house Saturn Cazimi, and again, guys, we already know we're dealing with this energy of being at 27 degrees, right? 44 minutes, of course, right? And very interestingly so, in speaking on this, it's interesting how Saturn's also ruling the ascendant here. So far, 2 in a row, I've had Saturn ruling the ascendant, right? However, Saturn's also ruling the third house here, right? So when it comes to communications, the essential communications need to be brought to the forefront. Put the spotlight on that. All righty. And you can make the sudden changes necessary, not only in the lives of the group abroad and find the values in your career pertaining to those that you work with. However, when it comes to other people's children, because in harmony with the 11th house is Aquarius, and Saturn being the ancient ruler, however, Uranus being the contemporary ruler, and we look at Uranus by sign squaring Aquarius, right? So Uranus is in Taurus in the 5th. So really, when it comes to communicating things to other people's children, we will actually be able to share technical information that will really inspire a generation to know how to, one, listen to the essentials that are necessary to make their workflow even better, all righty? And so there's been the sudden changes and secrets revealed because the 5th house, when you're talking about work, is the 6th house. So the 5th is 12th to the 6th, and when we're speaking on derived housing. And then therefore the 3rd would be the 10th to the 6th. So now what we're actually looking at now is when it comes to what can inspire someone else's child to grow up to be something beneficial in society, make sure that what's communicated and shared effectively is the essentials. Put a spotlight on the essentials, really just give them and show them what it is that they can do to make their venture easier. For example, let's say like assisting assisting my son with how he does his video editing, and just making sure I give him exactly the pinpointed technical information, right? This is what could actually happen with you, with your children or others' children, right? Especially for those that may have started, quote unquote, blended kinships, right? Some people call them blended families, where it's, you know, you are caring for, due to the relationship, now someone else's child is your child due to the relationship and your heart in seeing that. So, because it takes a village to raise a child. So make sure the technical information is spotlighted and shared so that the everyday work pertaining to the child will be useful, will be very useful to them. Alrighty, and their confidence and self-esteem, because you exactly shared the creativity secrets. Alrighty, and with that, I yield the floor. Islam.
All right, moving on next into the Pisces zone. We're at Labis, Malaysia. All right, we've got Sol and Saturn in the 4th house. All right, so this Scorpio in the rise and Jupiter's terms. Interesting. All right, so where is Mars? Mars in the 7th. Interesting. Anyway, so however, but the Corey's voice, however, right? Sun and Saturn the 4th. This is this is like I gotta put this, a actualization of once again just authority, but not in a sense of trying to control others, but balancing how one expresses himself, but also just the psychological, the mental foundation and roots, but also taking opportunity to lay the foundation down for the children, right? Finding joy and communicating or having these memories of one's earliest childhood and which one didn't receive in that childhood or the upbringing, but now you're able to lay that foundation down for your children or for those looking to have children in the future. You're able to lay that foundation, that base, that authority, and just also the proper structure. And this comes with astrology, right? I remember I was listening to the bros last night, going in for AstroCivics Sunday, when they was talking about, you know, going to the hospitals to have children. Like at some point I see a lot of beings are going to stop going to these hospitals because they're going to realize that they've been selling their own children into slavery. And it's not in a sense of, oh, well, you know, but this Cazimi is like, well, this is what's right. Well, is what's really right, or is what's right, what's everyone been accepting as true, but not really looking into it. So what comes with that is a lot of joy and pain, but there's an opportunity to overcome that home security, that home life that didn't serve by way of the wounded healing. Because you look at Chiron. Chiron is in a semi-square with Sun and Saturn, and it's at the degree of the physician, food and drink. So once again, get with Brother Corey, man, on the yoga and like the nutritional plan, or I see like a lot of the collective in this area, Malaysia, or even just like Scorpio risings will be looking to go like alkaline or just change what they eat to bring better health, because Venus is ruling that. Actually, Mars is on that. Aries is on that 6th house cusp, right?
Yuppity duppity.
Yes.
In the Mars terms, correct.
Mars terms, and Mars in Jupiter's terms. So you got a
correct,
quote unquote malefic, but in a benefic term. So, and Mars is in Gemini. So that's like relating. That's like going out to eat, right? Going out to eat with your friends or coworkers, and maybe even just start to try some things new. Even though it might be foreign to you, but just trying something new while communicating and enjoying oneself. And like for me, example, I've been trying stuff. I'm picky. Yo, in my mind, when I want to try stuff, I hear Debo, stop acting like a little bitch, and just trying some different things to experience some things to not be so one-sided. And like I said, going back to that food and drink, this will be able to free oneself from one's own shortcomings, one's own ill health, right? Or diseases, as I say, is, being mindful. That's what Brother Jagged told me, be mindful of what you eat, but also just what you consume as well. And also what you need to let go of, especially with that fourth house, right? What do you need to let go of that isn't serving you when it comes to how you were brought up, how you were raised, whether you want to look at mother and father, or just even your own mind states. What can you let go of to move on? And with that, I will yield with the floor, and we'll head into that Aquarius zone. Brother Jag, bro, you there? Brother Soul Sauce, Mercury Hamano, Regulus Time Star Muhammad Bey.
Regulus Time Star Muhammad Bey. All righty. I guess it's on me. Me. That'll actually work. Give me 2 seconds. Someone said they went to join Prophet Noble Drew Ali University. Right? And let's see. Yeah, they're gonna have to send that again. They're gonna have to send that request. One more again. Right? So that's all good. I'm just looking at the jurisprudence gem right now, bro. I'm just finished sharing out there also. All right, so let's get going. Take it on back here to the Instagrammies, right? Speaking of Grammys, right? Instagrammies, right? I didn't catch any of it last night, so forgive me. You know what I mean?
What happened?
I said I didn't catch any of the Grammys last night. I saw some pictures, right? Somebody was like, they're so proud of Bad Bunny. It's so funny because I was playing a lot of Bad Bunny Saturday. Right, and
you was, bro, in the past, bro. You had me over here like Shazamming a couple songs. Like, man, what is this? This is what this Hold on, I got that somewhere.
You already know, man. Kind of bad. Because I was listening to Bad Bunny before yo kind of like blew up, and it's like, dang, yo, it's so funny how you listen to something. Nobody knows what it is. Next thing you know, it's like, oh, this. And it's like, really, man? Like, I'm talking about Todo que me pongo original.
Now, yeah, that's the one.
Mi piquete, mi flow original.
I was like, well, I don't know what he's saying. What he going in?
Yeah, I'm talking about that Bad Bunny, bro. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. Like, things started changing up around. Mi piquete, mi flow original. Una puta hecha original. Todo fight, no consider original. Yeah. I'm trying to tell you, yo, like, yeah. And then last night, you saw him, we was doing the live last night. I'm like, bro, I didn't know Usher had a song with Romeo Santos. You know what I'm saying? Because, Romeo Santos is the king of bachata, right? So it's like, it's so funny to hear Usher like, oh, snap, he actually did a song with Romeo Santos. Of course, my favorite Romeo Santos song is with Ozuna, El Farsante, So that chunk's got like over 1 billion views, bro. It's so hilarious. But I always look at it's in the best way. I look at Romeo Santos as like the male Beyonce, because the Destiny's Child that he comes from is called Aventura. And if you look at the videos back in the day of Aventura, it's like he's in the light and the other three members of Aventura are like in the shade, like in the videos. It's like, yo, it's horrible. Like, it's like how Beyonce was the only one that could have blonde hair and the other three girls had to have some other highlight in their hair. Like, it's kind of like that or whatever, but it's hilarious. But yeah, man, I ain't gonna front, bro. Like, you already know, I listen to reggaeton, like it's going out of style. And then I learned some things like when I really learned, I can't remember what brother Aura said that type music is, but you know, when you be thinking, you be hearing and you be thinking like, man, they're playing that mariachi music. Man, that music be gangster than a motherfucker. If you really knew what lyrics they talking about. They talking, bro, that is gangster music. I'm telling you, you translate some of those lines, you're like, you just talk about dumping the body in the barn next to the chickens? Hold on, what am I listening? I did not expect, and they singing it.
Mm-hmm.
They singing it. It's like, yo, hold up, yo, what am I listening to? Oh my goodness. It's really that serious. All right. However, moving on. That was our that sidebar was brought in part to you by Saturn Cazimi in the Aquarius zone, right? Anyway, right, because we're talking about, look at that, airwaves. That's what Aquarius is. It's airwaves.
Oh, we're gonna tell Molly to tell Candy we found her spot too in Sri Lanka.
Oh yeah. Yo, you're hilarious, yo. You are so hilarious. Candy Sri Lanka, Kandi Sri Lanka. Right, happening about 2200 hours, 18 minutes and 24 seconds, or 10:18:24 post meridian, right? And we can see clearly that this is taking place. Brother Jag just went out. So at 27 degrees 44 minutes is where it's going to be for all of these. However, it's taking place in the 5th house this time. So the sun has accidental dignity here, whereas Saturn would be quote unquote accidentally debilitated because the 11th house is reflective of the 11th house. So when it really comes again to the essentials, alrighty, and children, like I really think that a lot of children in their mothers, this is very Masonic, so to speak, because mother would be Saturn and son would be the sun. However, sometimes people will look at Saturn as the father energy pertaining to the 10th house, Saturn and Capricorn. However, when you're thinking about Horary astrology at times, which we like to call the Magi infinity sphere astrology, right? That is
also Horary heroes. Yeah.
Exactly. Horary heroes. Yeah. That's who we are. That's who Seven Hill Star is. We're Horary heroes. So with that being said, however, in the forefront of the Horary heroes, of course, is Prophet Noble Drali. Let's never forget that, right? Because it wouldn't be possible really without Prophet Noble Drali and Charles Mosley Bay and us analyzing the literature, meeting both those brothers in their literature, so that we can continue things that we've done in past lives now in this lifetime. All righty. So what we can actually see here, and it's funny, man, I got another, so far, all 3 testimonies I've done, the house cusp has been on Saturn's terms. Just wanted to keep pointing that out here. And so, guys, when it really comes to your astrology, I would just say, go and make sure, even right now, guys, like book your sessions. You're not going to be disappointed at all. Book your Mirror AstroLiteracy sessions with either Brother Terrell Tamari Bay, Brother Corey Bay, or Brother Sean Lee Mel. We all have our protocol per our own free national press. We are certified. And then secondarily, we are recognized internationally by our colleagues, our international professional astrological colleagues. All right. And we have what we need. We have what you need, guys. Never forget, our Mirror Astro Literacy sessions are actually worth 990 units in lieu of lawful money. All righty. Actually, at the least. So when we're doing things, we're not sitting here on some like dope thing shit. Like, you know what I'm saying, man? I'm just trying to do your astrology. Just give me 153, man. That's not what's happening. What we're doing is we're actually making sure and recognizing, like, you guys know you don't really know, and some of you are just too lazy to really comprehend. So what we're doing is we're offering you something at a much lower rate so to speak. Well, rate is rent. We just saw also last night, but we're offering you something at a much lower eleemosynary tuition, even though that we know we're clearly worth the 330 units per hour because we go in. So what we do for those 3 hours at 153 is we give you the basis to what you need. And you guys really need that for yourself. So you can really meet yourself for the first time. There's a lot of people out here grown, never met themselves. You've never had a self-reflection session, especially the way that we do via our certified protocol. All right. So what we have for you, even in this light, you can really be essentially creative with, bringing some home values, because fifth house would be the values to the home, right? Because it's second to the fourth. And with doing so, you can really allow yourself to be able to be very active in how you're really communicating, a way to have this joint accounting energy with one another. Being jointly accountable would be something that you can either share with children, your children, other people's children, or your own inner child, because you must reflect on instituting the values that are very necessary and making sure that you're really watching your lower self. Alrighty, making sure you're really watching your lower self and really having the fated interactions that will allow you to be very wise in how you isolate said values. So you need to be able to kind of, weigh the pros and cons pertaining to that which you would like to discipline the heart to, and make sure you're not being too overly critical pertaining to yourself. So allow your self-esteem to not be crushed due to you overanalyzing your actions from the thoughts that you may be having. So put not too much meaning on things, yet be very creative in how you are having the discipline essentials pertaining to your status. And with that, I yield the floor. Islam.
Slime. All right, moving on. I had to Capricorn. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. There we go.
Capricornio.
Capricorn is already. So we got Virgo on the rise. All right. We got Sun and Saturn at 6. Man, I feel jacked. I would have left too if I known that 6th house is coming up.
Yeah.
Man.
Hey, yo, that was classic, bro. That was so on time right now. That is freaking hilarious, bro.
All right, but I actually am going to kind of say a couple of things Brother Jag was saying earlier, especially with the 6th house, being a service, because I know bro was going in on, this is for Biden Eritrea. And he was saying, be careful on who you mate with, like who you're exchanging like sexual energy with. And it really makes sense too, Chiron's and the 7th. So, like I said, we know Virgo's on the rise, Mercury's and Aquarius come this time. So this is the 16th. So we about 10 degrees, 10 days out from that. All right. And just being careful because once again, Saturn is restriction, but it's also to where you're not restricted enough. So, as they would say, busting the ends, right, to just gratify the lower self. And that also could be a reason why certain things are happening for a reason is exchanging and intertwining energies with those that are not truly serving you. 7th house is relating, and it's also the values of the service. So first, once again, this is now for Synastry right here. Mercury's ruling the chart from the 5th. And it's an Aquarius, so 7 degrees, which is a Virgoan degree as well, right? So
say that one more time.
7 degrees is a Virgo degree.
Yeah, if we was looking at it, yeah. Technically, hold on. Venus?
Well, no, that'd be Venus. Pardon me. I was allowed wrong, right? So yeah, that'd be a Venus degree. which
Yeah.
looks like it might be a Venus turn.
And it's in Venus
Like a
terms.
Jupiter.
Yes, that
It's
is
Jupiter.
absolutely correcto. That is absolutely correct.
And
So yes, by
Venus,
degree theory, Venus, and by terms, Venus, you are absolutely correct. Wow, wow, the fifth house cusp is on Venus terms also. You're talking about Mercury, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I yield, bro.
Yeah, so that's gonna be like a change. I think well, this is what I'm feeling, is what I'm getting. Is that there's gonna be a lot of communication, Mercury's and Aquarius, and I think there's gonna be like a lot of new groups made too. Maybe meeting some different friend groups or exchanging information with beings you thought you wouldn't. Venus is in the 7th, so that's relating, and she's exalted. And the house she once again rolls over to naturally Libra. So it's very beautiful at 25 degrees. So oof. That's beautiful. I think folks are going to have that real that actualization, right? And whatever fashion they would look to. And if we want to use Uranus as a contemporary ruler, it's at the degree of growth. So being able to see the growth one has been through their maybe like trials or tribulations, right? Whatever you like to call that, or just the one's life path, right? One's journey so far. Like I said, Mercury's Virgo's on the rise, so you're able to get into the health. So this is getting a health checkup, starting that walking routine, exercising. Trying to think 27, say 15, 3. So that's that's a Gemini nature, right? So because Aries towards Gemini's 3 at 12, 15, 27. So yeah, this is getting to the root of anxiety and the health. And instead of ignoring it, because I think we've all probably done it before, is ignored some things we knew better than to because we were scared. But this is able to overconquer that fear of being scared. It's like, for why? Fear for what? And just taking necessary steps. And relating, so being able to relate or just talk to other beings will be able to help bring that clarity, because we're all can be our own physicians, right? Chiron, the degree of the physician, wounded pain. So be able to heal oneself, be able to start getting to the natural herbs. Because like I said a while ago that the collective is going to start going more to the natural and leaving the pharmaceuticals alone once they've seen that it's never really been helping them. It's only made it worse. But I'm no health expert, but I'm just saying folks will see it for their own. And yes, we accept your apologies in advance, whether you like to say it or not, or change how you're acting, we accept it in advance again. And yeah, let's just really be about humanity, Sun and Saturn and Aquarius, because freedom is everybody's job. So let's be of service to each other and help each other out so we can fix this, instead of trying to seem like gurus or plot or prey on the people to merchandise themselves, when we could all take the knowledge and assist each other and everyone free themselves. But some just wants to be gatekeepers, and they don't really truly want freedom. Right.
Yeah,
but with that,
boy.
yeah, boy. But with that, I'll actually yield the floor. That's a beautiful for the Eritrea area.
Yeah, Eritrea. That's what's just east of not mistaken, I think Eritrea is east of Abyssinia. I would like to know what the Aboriginal terms are, but that's all East Al Kibalan.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So Abyssinia, what was Somalia be called too? It's probably still at one point in time all Abyssinia. You know what I mean? What is now broken into contemporarily termed Ethiopia, Somalia, and Eritrea. Right. So shout out to anybody that's from family from Eritrea. And Udi is usually an appellation most people I've come across from the other sphere. They would call it the beauty. All right. So with that being said, let us move it forward. Let me kind of come off of this one because you already know, bro. I'm just doing my sharings accordingly. Sagittarius zone, looky. All right, I'm 180 degrees from where I started here. 1700 hours, 48 minutes, and 24 seconds, or 5:48:24 post meridian. All righty, and this is looking like Gamba Angola, right? And this is actually taking place in the 7th house. Interestingly, brother Sean was speaking about how earlier, when Venus was in the 7th, just a degree and really literally a degree in 29 minutes now from its exaltation degree at 27 degrees Pisces. But at that time, brother Sean was going, and it's still kind of sort of, it was at that time when it was, you were just going over the Aquarius zone, right? Venus from the 7th was ruling over the 2nd and the 9th. That's what it was. Now Venus is actually just ruling over, while in exaltation, in his exaltation sign, however, under the sponsorship of Saturn being mastered by Mars. All right, as far as that house is concerned. What we're seeing is now Venus is only ruling the 9th house. So when it really comes to being able to really relate the values in higher learning activities and really making sure that the knowledge is poured out really propels you towards your actual soul's destiny. Saturn Cazimi, alrighty, in the 7th house is really one where people may have some delays in relationships. However, what will be brought to the forefront and will be shining that delay is actually something that's really so beneficial that it won't even look like or feel like a delay. It was such a beautiful delay that it made for a better outcome once things move forward. So if you have a matrimonial obligation, let's say, right, or you're planning the matrimonial obligation, what will actually occur here is the limitations that present themselves pertaining to how you want to relate or contracts needing to be autographed in lieu thereof. What you'll actually see is those delays were actually beautiful interventions, alrighty? And the sun ruling the ascendant actually, while Saturn's ruling the descendant, all right? What we can actually see is there are some things that are seriously needing to be communicated. Mercury is there in Aquarius. Mercury does great in Aquarius, by the way. However, it has accidental dignity also in the 6th house. So now what we can actually communicate is some things can be communicated very quickly. Some information can be found out about other people in the family. Whereas what will actually happen is someone will be able to move forward in probably their financial endeavors based on their everyday work, everyday hustle, because that's what the 6th house deals with. Actually pertaining to some perceived limitations. However, I think what people will be able to really bring to the forefront is a means to really take their time in making sure whatever it is that they do every day is done correctly so that they don't have to go back and make the corrections. So really, when it comes to communicating to those that actually, you may be someone who runs a business or people that actually work with you or work for you, you'll be able to communicate to them effectively those things that are necessary to be able to get things moving very quickly. So this is one of those, for lack of better terms, I'm going to say that the theme for this particular transit in Sagittarius zone is take your time and you'll get things done in half the time. And with that, I yield the floor. Islam.
All right, moving on to the Scorpio zone. Righty. All right, we got Noktak, Mauritania, occurring on the Thursday on the Thor's day.
On Thursday
At 1700 hours, 48 minutes, 24 seconds, 5:48:24 post meridian, not post Malone.
White Iverson. Okay, go ahead.
Congratulations. But you know, when I get songs like that, I just play Another Win by Paragon Rico.
Indeed, right?
All right. So yeah, ascendants in Saturn terms. Looky. Yeah. So we got Sun and Saturn in the 8th house. So 8th house deals with inheritances, rights, mysteries, you know, right? So hey, it's a new season of Scooby-Doo coming out, right?
You're hilarious.
And it's random, but after the day, I wouldn't even be surprised. Some What's New Scooby-Doo comes out, right? So Sun and Saturn in 8th. This is because once again it's reflecting of the 2nd house, which is your own values, resources, possessions, right? But with this, for whoever does work in like investing, right, or who handles like others' finances or dealings, right, or even like public speakers or like managers, right? There'll be like some new management here, or there will be a sense of trying to put my finger on it, like a sense of agreement, right? Especially if there's been like kind of like disagreements or things of that fashion. That's 12, so Leo's on the rise, so Sun, yeah. But what's beautiful about this Cazimi is that an 8th. Still in Saturn times, is able to get past the structures and restrictions. So this is getting to the mysteries of like, once again, finding out how do I restrict myself? You know, in what ways has restricting myself been beneficial, and also what ways has it not been beneficial? Uranus is in the 10th, so that's growth. So yeah, this is able to have a new sense of value for the career, or even preparing to embark on a new career journey for some. The people, right? Luna is in the 6th, 7 degrees. So and it's another Libran degree, right? So and that's a semi-sextile, Luna and Mercury. Yeah, this is harmonic. Yeah, it's beautiful because we'll be able to take structure our emotions, whether that's, you know, being too hard on ourselves or just being real, and be able to take that that thinking we have for ourselves and just act out whatever we need to do. Yeah, let's see, Capricorn and Aquarius both 7. Yeah, that is a semi-sextile. And then where's Chiron? Chiron's in the 9th. So there's also gonna be some beings are really gonna be able to start coming into this higher learning, into this knowledge. Because once again, just because everyone's not talking about it doesn't mean it's not true, right? I would question more of why are certain things not talked about, you know, why we're not talking about metaphysics, or what does astrology and all these different things really honorably truly mean. And Jupiter's in the 9th too, which accidental dignity and Aries, right? Yeah, beings are really gonna be able to start coming into the truth and the nature. And it might hurt, you know, they'll say truth hurts, but once again, the truth will hurt at first, but it'll make you feel way better off than continuing to live a lie. And beings will be able to start taking their own life, realizing that they're their own creator, right? So tarot card number 1, the Magician, which is ruled by Mercury here. So being able to realize that we are the creators of our life, and you know, just taking whatever steps necessary to get what we truly want, heartfelt. Because if it's just something that's is a quick fix or a microwave, then it really won't bring that internal joy and peace. So once again, and I would say if you have not got your Holy Quran or requested access to Prophet Noble Drew University, just because it's free doesn't mean it's not worth it. It's priceless.
Oh, they gonna learn one day, though, bro.
They gonna learn, yeah.
They gonna be like, once it's at a point where they gonna be like, dang, I wish I got. Like, you guys thought we was on some goofy shit. We was actually really looking out for you guys by really enforcing our charge. In order to change people, you must change their literature. And when it comes to a time where, you know, we got to move forward, and hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't be mad at yourself for procrastinating. So you guys study. You gotta study. You gotta put in.
That's another thing too. I think a lot of collectors are gonna realize is that we gotta study, but hey, that's what study groups and friend groups and networks are for. But it's at the end of the day, not expecting someone else to save you, right? Computer glitching. And yeah, being able to do that work, but it's, you know, once you realize it yourself and, you know, you be honest and sincere to start doing what's right, you know, if you want your life to be a movie, you know, do the right thing, right? Or start learning to do the right thing. Because you know better too. We know better, but sometimes it's just folks don't want it. So, and however, just on another note, just being able to liberate oneself and find the value in seeing the authority and the status within you. And that other beings are raised to power by the people. They're not given that. So if you're tired of beings not doing their job, right, then the people needs to get them out the offices and get beings who will do it in there. And stop falling for the little lies, oh, sweet little lies, right? And with that, I'll yield the floor to my bro.
Giving the floor to my bro. You know what?
We in the labor zone. We in the labor zone.
Seriously.
In the labor zone.
Like bro was saying, stop falling for the lies. Where me and brother Chi, we're from near the Baltimore Corporation. We call that the okie doke. Don't fall for the
okie doke.
You know what I mean? So that's exactly what that is. Share out these last couple of ones here to these Moors here. 1 and 2, right? Put that there. And then boom, shakalaka, right? All right, so I'll come back to who I'm sharing with right there. So guys, let us now get to this portion. All right, I just finished doing some editing too, bro. I think our description and everything is taken care of, thumbnail, all that. So we're in the Libra zone. We're in the Libra zone. So it's happening. It's happening. 1,200 hours, 48 minutes, 24 seconds. Do you see that? 12, 48, 24. They're all multiples of each other. Look at that, right? Sunny side, Bermuda, Jamaica. Ooh, I wanna take you. I'm just saying, right? Way down Kokomo. Anyway, I know, right? I'm just throwing the lyrics all out of order. That's on purpose. So with that being said, this is happening at 1,200 hours, 48 minutes, 24 seconds, right? Or 12:48, 24 post meridian in the Libra zone. We're having the Saturn Cazimi take place in the 9th house. Looky, Astro Cookie. However, the 9th house cusp is on Mercury's term. So Mercury in the 9th house in Aquarius, right? This lets me know that Saturn is ruling over the sign. However, Mercury is the master here. And so with Mercury actually mastering this, we're really communicating the services that are necessary for higher learning. There are going to be some foreign affairs things that take place here. So people are going to actually recognize that there's information that's been shared. And I think the light bulb click is going to happen for a lot of people in recognizing that which is necessary for them to be able to move forward in life. This is no more be lazy. Alrighty, this is no more be lazy time for you. Alrighty, you can't be lazy. You're going to have to really find the value in seeing what's being shared with you. For example, 7 Heel Star is very instrumental in sharing that what you need so that you can be everything that you need to be within your own foreign affairs. Alrighty, so when it comes to your foreign affairs, do not be lazy. Alrighty. Now, shout out to you guys in the chat also. Says Michael Fort says Islam, peace and love. He also says yes, noble, loud and clear. And Slim Hervey says Islam, peace and love with 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Right. So with that being said, guys, with this Saturn Cazimi here, make sure that when it comes to foreign affairs, when it comes to higher learning, when it comes to really expanding yourself, when it comes to publishing, all right, make sure that which is published, you're really intaking. I think a lot of people are going to be going back to 7 Heel Star's video, seeing the information that we're sharing. And I think what may happen is the curiosity in calling our bluff, because you already know, we let you guys know, believe nothing we say, research it yourself, right? And try to prove it wrong. When you prove it right, teach your loved ones. You think there's something we missed? Share it with us. All righty. However, 9 times out of 10, guys, I'm very pit bullish, so to speak, when it comes to the quality in things that I read, because and like I know there's a lot of beings out there saying they have information pertaining to Moorish Americans, whereas I being now within my 9th year. And taking nationality and birthrights seriously, I clearly have a foundation. Of course, my foundation is Moorish Heritage and History School via rvbaypublications.com, and having the books from Prophet Noble Drali, as many as far and dealing with other Moorish Americans also. As far as Charles Mosley Bay, getting some information from certain elders like Brother Taj, Mother Delilah, Mother Rashida Bay, right? What I'm actually seeing here, guys, is the necessity for the collective to really reveal to themselves so that they can actually isolate their standing appropriately. This is that time where you need to take what's being communicated to you on the internet, what's being published via the internet, as well as what's being published collectively and being shared as far as the AstroCivics that we share. All righty. And what you guys are going to have to do is prove it to yourself. Find yourself within the information so that you can fight for yourself, right? Because that's what this is actually about. This is about being able to stand. Stand is status. Status and standing is the same thing. Another word for standing and status is stit, S-T-I-T, which is in the center pertaining to the word constitution, right? Con, with, stit, stand, right? And ushin would be the state of, right? So the state pertaining to your withstanding. So your withstanding state. Constitution is withstanding state. So what is your withstanding status? What is your withstanding mindset? All righty. A lot of people are going to see that if they're not really honoring their ancient foremothers and forefathers, but still seek to transact business in names that allude to slavery, names and principles that allude to slavery, it doesn't matter how much of a winner you think you are, you're going to have to kowtow into submission from within to the fact that you're going to have to declare and proclaim your nationality. Because if you don't, the outcome is you're going to reincarnate. And not in a good way. Those of us, such as myself, are here to actually continue to assist, because some of us have done such a great job that we can volunteer to continue to do a great job. All right? Not bragging, prove us wrong. So with that being said, I would say what would be best for this portion for the Saturn Cazimi is to really make sure you guys are bringing to the forefront the importance pertaining to your own astrological referencing, where you can see yourself in that which is being published and shared abroad via the internet and any other publications that can really assist you in standing on your own 2 feet in terms of governmental affairs. With that, I yield the floor. Islam.
All right, moving on. All right, Virgo zone.
It looks like this has turned into you're doing water and earth, and I'm doing air and fire.
It's fine.
Is that what it is or no?
Let's see. Yeah, Earth was in. I got Virgo. He would be Leo next, fire, and then
Exactly.
ending out on Cancer.
Let's
Yeah,
start with Gemini.
indeed. So next, let's see. We're at Manchester, Vermont. All right,
East
Vermont
coasting
State
it.
Republic. East coasting it. All right, so we got Sun and Saturn in the 10th now. Sun in Aquarius. That is some like self-expression, mental, right? And network. So this could be starting some new project within the group, or even just finding joy and be able to find mental peace. Because I think that's what a lot of humanity lacks is mental inner peace, because they look for so much outside of themselves to prove their value and prove their worth. Saturn is there in the 10th as well, and some axe digging on digging, because he does naturally rule the 10th and 11th. So that's able to start making goals for like long term. So even meeting some friends or coming across beings who could be worthy of like a long-term friendship or long-time project work to do something that's going to benefit humanity on the bigger scale. And look at that, part of fortune's conjunct the fixed star Andromeda. But that's setting something forward for humanity to where we can once again fix this, so that we can all attain to our highest spiritual attainments, and that is by means of political, social, and economic security. Because Prophet Noah said we can't attain to our highest spiritual selves if we're not secure politically, economically, and socially. So Saturn Cazimi is letting bygones be bygones, but also realizing who's authority and who's so-called authority, right? So shout out to the bros. I know, like I said, I continue to study and get myself better on the civics and jurisprudence. Shout out to Malika and everybody at Lawful Living and everyone else who's just studying jurisprudence to free themselves. Wow, yeah, that part of fortune's at the prophet of a new order. So yeah, Pisces in the sextile. Wow. So mothers, are you ready? This could all be over by breakfast. We waiting on you.
Are you ready? All right.
You know, do you want freedom for your babies, or do you want Section 8 so you can do all your free stuff and do all the things that are not serving us at all, anyone at all? It might be you, but this is all about being bigger than ourselves, right? So when we take the ego out of this, we're able to start really getting into the heart space. So a lot of folks need to start healing their hearts. And what do we say almost every week? If you have hate in your heart, let it out. And we say it jokingly, but it's seriously like, that's how we can take something really serious and not make us like, oh my gosh, you're so stuck up. But really, like, letting the hate of your heart, like, what is it that you're holding on to? Because all it is a reflection of yourself. And let's start fixing this thing. Moon is on the 7th, so let's be able to relate status to others. All right, Gemini, once again, Mercury still in that Aquarius. Probably about 2 degrees past part of Eros. So being able to take some studies, especially if your loved one's not on it, right? Being able to find a way to take some higher knowledge and relate it to something that they're into so that they can understand it, so that you're not feeling like you're trying to control them or change them. It's like, hey, I know you like this. Here's this information, because we're always on a growing stage, right? And, it's like, if you're going to be together or collaborating or doing something, you're not going to hold me down. So, no, like that Ray J song, you're not going to tie me down, right? With your 9 growth, so and Mars term. So yeah, That's not too far off the ascendant either. So yeah, really being able to have these conversations, whether it's comfortable or uncomfortable, right? Dual nature Gemini, and getting into the gut health is Virgo, and just really being conscious and aware of our inner selves and our outer selves and our natures, and ways that we can improve and work with the grain when it comes to restrictions, so that we're always just operating for our higher best selves. And in ways when we don't, okay, where did I go wrong? And yeah, Venus in the 11th too, that's beautiful, man. At 25 is this, there's, as they would say, mass awakenings occurring. But with that, I will yield the floor, and I'll let my bro get into, we don't want new one. There we go. Get you into the Leo zone.
In the Leo zone, guys, happening at about 0900 hours, 48 minutes, 24 seconds near Great Falls, Montana. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. However, this is happening in the 11th house, guys. All righty. And with that being said, we can clearly see that the 11th house cusp is in Venus terms. So Venus in exaltation, our exaltation sign, and in the 12th house would kind of, for me, that would be an accidental dignity. And even though most people have not considered accidental dignity based on exaltation by sign in comparison to natural house placement as far as that is concerned. However, I will say that Venus ruling from Pisces in the 12th house, because Pisces is the 12th sign. So Venus would find dignity, of course, in the 12th sign. Why not in the 12th house? However, that's just what Seven Hill Star does. We're thorough in how we look at things. So with Venus actually being on, if I'm not mistaken, it's on Mars's terms, right? So what's going to be beautifully communicated here, and what we're going to share, find the values in sharing this to to people abroad, if I'm not mistaken, Venus and Mars would be on their terms mutually. So there's a mutual reception by term between Venus and Mars. Alrighty, so with that being said, what we can actually see here is the values in communicating things effectively in a local format or a local fashion. In other words, just simplifying that which is really needed. There's going to be a lot of value and profundity brought out from the simplicity. So the simplicity that can be isolated and be made to be very beautiful and imbibed and ingested, so to speak, by the collective. I see that everyone will be able to really harness some type of recreational necessity. Like, I think there's going to be a need for recreation. Alrighty, and it's going to be a group activity. So if you're into playing basketball, go to the gym, play that basketball. If it's a pairs type situation, go and play that handball or wall ball or racquetball that you intend to play. Also, if it's swimming, and you want to do some racing competitions, I think that you'll be able to have that, as a means of recreation also. However, I do see that you need to get rid of the fascination and denial, alrighty, pertaining to your own self creativities, and just enjoy the fucking moment. Alrighty, let go and just enjoy the moment. Interestingly, the sun is ruling over the 5th house while Saturn is ruling over the 11th. So they're naturally ruling, of course, as far as the houses are concerned, because of where the actual house cusps are. However, what Saturn is reflectively doing under the masterful terms of Venus, right? What is actually being brought to the forefront is a means of just actively communicating the essentials, actively communicating the limitations to one's creativities, so that the beauty can be actually brought out and we can eliminate the fascination and denial of going overboard. Alrighty, so in the simplicity, you will see that the simplicity is king, so to speak. The simplicity has the top notch. The simplicity is sultan. Let me say that instead of king. All right. So with that, I am going to yield the floor to my beloved brother, in whom I'm well pleased, for the Cancer Zone, Brother Sean Ali Mel, Islam. Oh, and Dun L, Islam to you, also beloved. Dun L says in the chat, Islam family.
Islam. All right, and just finishing this thing out, we're at Flight Toto, French Polynesia. All right, occurring on a Thursday. We got Saturn in its joy in the 12th. We got Sun there, got Sol there, right? Yeah, this is going to be like an inspiration in the friend groups. We could see like new technology, right? Especially if there's been like a slowdown or it seems like a halt when it comes to like any kind of production work or kind of anything in that fashion, electronics, cars, conveyances, trains, kind of just those different things, right? And the work is going to come from creation, by creating. But this is going to be a beautiful, once again, words of brother signed beautifully Zodiacal. With this energy and Mercury's and Aquarius too. You got Markov on the rise. And like I said, Venus is separating with Neptune, which Neptune is a higher vibration, celestial vibration of Venus. So there's going to be a lot of love. Like if you're not ready to embrace that love spot, once again, come get your Reiki. And if you don't get it from me, just someone trusted, or just start learning how to ground, even like meditating by water, and able to just start letting go of whether it's, current life pain or hate, or even past life, right? Or generational things that are attached to you that you might not even know or be aware of, even care to even deal with, right? Being able to let go of this energy, so now that you can value yourself again, because now collectively be finding a new sense of self-identity is what I'm getting to. It's like what they held on to for so long is now being stripped away and has been stripped. And I know Hassan Burroughs earlier was talking about I just had that being able to just realize what needs to be let go of, and how what was once for you is not for you now, right? So what might have been working for you 5-10 years ago is not going to work now, but since the comfortability of it, oh wow. So yeah, there's going to be some beings, foreign mothers, or just even like someone's pastor too. It's like a clergyman or whatever you would like to call it. It's going to be it's going to have a boo-boo, a slip up, right? When you're looking at the shadow, right? It's kind of off, but there's an opportunity to really move past what makes you comfortable. Let's see, 2 degrees, 16 minutes. No, so it's in a not far conjunction, but being able to let go of the past. So it's that question to yourself, especially 12th house, when you think of like institutions, which you can think of institutions outside of you or your own temple, your own institution. Being able to free yourself from that mental bondage, right? That sense consciousness, that Egypt, right? Getting out of Egypt. It's like, oh, Egypt, but you're meant to get past the material and sense conscious binding. There's another level to that, right? It just doesn't stop there. But once again, it's getting away after the comfortability and being to accept that. Yeah.
Islam.
yeah, good enough for that. So with that, I yielded the floor, and I'm gonna bring us back right here. All right, so yeah, shout out to the bros, man. Shout out to brother Hassan. Pardon me, I gotta do the nickname. Shout out to Living Master, brother Hassan. Shout out to brother Soul Sauce, Jaguar Soul. Shout out to the Exalted Cyclops. The president, Corey Bay.
Exactly Monday.
Shout out to Paragon Debo, Paragon Rico, brother R. Shout out to you, brother Chi, and just shout out to everyone out there who's actively taking themselves serious and wanting better for themselves and for not only for their little ones, but for all the little ones, because we're all interconnected. We're all assisting each other. So just taking that sincerity and just doing what needs to be done on a day-to-day basis. And shout out to the haters, because we know the haters are our biggest supporters.
They hate us because they ain't us.
Ain't us. I gotta post that. Yeah, I'm about to get back on the post. The haters because they ain't us.
Put it in the chat, bro. Like, oh boy, that's so freaking hilarious.
The haters because they hate us. He said, no, because we're doing something horribly wrong. He said, they just hate us because they ain't us.
Like,
he said, say it like that. It sounds real.
Yo.
They hate us because they ain't us.
Yeah, it's freaking Seth Rogen and Josh Hartnett, if I'm not mistaken. It's so hilarious, bro. Super hilarious.
So yeah.
However, I yield, bro. I yield.
So yeah, this is actually gonna be interesting because now that I think about it, let's see. Sol is should be about 16, 17 degrees. So yeah, Saturn's under the beams right now. So it actually went in perfect how we was going in early on. Cazimi, combust, and then under the beam. So for these next 10 degrees, 10 days to see how things are going to start to play out when sun reaches that exact Cazimi. And then for those next about fortnight or so, when Sol gets past Saturn, just to see those two different variations. So it's going to be interesting. And then we just had the full moon yesterday, so that's lovely. I hope everyone got rest. If you're still tired, get some more rest. Others create if you feel like creating, just like that old Digital Underground song. Do what you like, what you feel like you need to do. Do what you like.
Wow. Hey, yo, were you even born? I'm kidding. You were clearly
Man, you already know my people's had me on all the old school stuff coming up.
Yeah, you are.
So I was gonna get all that. But
stop what you're doing because I'm about to ruin. I'm gonna say, hold on.
Images style that you used to.
Yeah, right. And Humpty Hump, you know what I'm saying? Tupac Shakur, one of the groups he was actually with, right? Digital Underground, right? Brother Chi, you got anything to say before we close on out, man? Before Brother Sean close this thing on out? Brother Chi going once. Brother Chi going twice.
What you say?
You got anything you want to share with the people before we go?
Peace and love. Stay on your square. And
And download Rough Things from iTunes Music.
These messages were brought to you by.
Download that Rebirth album from Brother Chi and Brother David, all right? From Rough Things, you guys. Seriously. If you're, looking to add to your love exercises, right? Would you say that, Brother Chi? I know you're so quote unquote humble in that portion. So any chance I get of anybody whose projects that are out there, I know people can, continue to get, because you guys have been doing R&B, this is just what we do growing up from here, Baltimore Corporation. It's a lifestyle. It's our life. However, I was just saying, like, besides, you know, me, you already know I'm going to be like, cut that rough ends. You know what I mean? iMusic, right? iTunes Music. What is it actually called? I got to brush up on that. I got to make sure I say it correctly. But you're on all
Apple Music. Yeah, Apple Music.
Apple Music, right? Because Brother Sean one time, he was like, yo, look, man, Brother G popped up on the XM radio. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, he's on that 47, that throwback joint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you already know, bro. However, check out that Rebirth. That Rebirth is solid, right? And shout out to you, Brother Chi, because you're quite a phenomenal writer. All righty.
Thank you, bro.
And
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I just look forward to, you already know, bro, how I am. You know what I mean? When it comes to all my bros doing music, honestly. However, besides that, guys, again, make sure you go to Apple Music and grab Rebirth by Rough Ends. And anything else, Brother Chi? That's me saying that. That's not Chi saying it. That's me saying it. I've never heard Chi push his own stuff. So I got to give you that, bro. I got to give you that, bro. You know what I'm saying? You be so chill with it. But I'm a push it, though. I'm going to say, look, man, check bro. Check my bro.
I'm going to push it.
You know what I mean? But go ahead. No, you want to say anything else, though, Chi?
No, just thanks, love, and appreciation. And let's keep the great noble Jew Ali, the honorable one, you know what I mean? The humble one. Let's keep his message going, man. Uplift all of humanity, man. You know what I mean? Let's carry on this mission. It's a great one. It's gonna take a lot of work. It's gonna take all of us. So just peace and love to everybody.
Indeed. So with that being said, Brother Sean, you want to close this out? I'm going to say my namaste to you all. Yeah, Brother Sean.
Yep, Islam, peace and love. And one more, Brother Jag, is, watch who you're mixing energy with, making sure they're uplifting you and not draining you, because just because they look like they're doing a Humpty dance don't mean it's time to hump. And on that, we're out of here. So enjoy the rest of your moon day. You already know tomorrow is Jurisprudence Gym. Wednesday, Ask the Weather Report. Thursday, Jurisprudence Gym. Friday, Impromptu Improv. Sunday, Soul Day. AstroCivics Sunday. So once again, 6 days are strong. We here. So ain't no way you can't be missing us. And on that note, thank you all. Peace and love to you all. Namaste. I'm about to work on some other intros, but hasta mañana, and all that. Hasta luego, right?
Yeah, you're hilarious.
But yeah, peace and love to you all. Y'all enjoy your day.
Let me stop, y'all.
See, we're gonna come back with like 30 languages, speaking tongues. Peace and love to y'all.
I got you.
I couldn't do it anyway.
Boom, there you go. You got it, bro. It's on you. You got it.
All right, there we go. It's on peace and love to you all.